Hi, my name is Libby Steiner. I am the director of Trophy HR. My company does HR services for small businesses with about 50 to 150 employees. We take care of everything from hiring, firing, and everything in between, employee services. We take care of your biggest investment in your company, which is your employees, to make sure they're getting what they need, they're happy, and your business is successful by retaining the talent.
I'm here with Libby Steiner. She's the CEO of Trophy HR. We're in her home office, this beautiful area, and that she gets to work in every single day. Now, I met Libby a couple months ago, and I was amazed by her energy. I was also amazed a little bit about her story, or a lot about her story. And I also was intrigued in the business that she chose to start for herself. And we're going to learn more about Libby today in our next podcast, our next episode of She Means Business. So let's jump right into it. First, just curious, Libby, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur, especially this line of business?
So for over 25 years, I have been in the corporate world, employed by other companies to do mostly in operations and finance and HR. Over the years, I have built a lot of knowledge and experience in these areas. And when my youngest child was born, after 7 years, I felt like there was a need for me to have more flexibility, more opportunity, and less limitations of how much I can grow and how much I can get done and be successful. So that's when I figured that I would go on my own and do human resources, because I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of information and a lot of research that I have done that I feel I can put to good use to my clients.
Wow, that's really very interesting. I'm just very curious how you balance it. Like, you came from more of like, I don't know if you worked in such corporate type jobs, but more of a corporate type setting. And now that you have your own schedule, do you find that you're working more hours? Do you find it more challenging? How do you find that?
So definitely working more hours, but with more flexibility, which means that I can decide that I can go swimming during the day if I want to, and just block it out on my calendar, and now it becomes just like something that I'm doing, or I'm available for family and life events because I am working on my own. I do have a team that supports me, so together I can get my clients what they need, and definitely has given me a lot more flexibility. And although it takes more time and I'm sometimes have to work more hours or extra hours in the evening, it's still very valuable for my time and my family.
So, some people, when they become their own boss, they find that their lives have no beginning and no end. It sounds like you kind of figured out that balance. And I'm just curious, how is the juggle going? How do you juggle it all?
So I don't feel like my life is so involved in my business, or vice versa. My business, I work regular business hours, and I don't have a laptop or a tablet or a smartphone even. So what happens is, when I close my computer for the day, and that's in my home office, I leave my office, I lock the door, and I'm with my family. I do sometimes go down in the evening again, but that's again to my computer. I'm not taking along my laptop all over where I go. So I feel like there's boundaries, there's limitations, and I'm focused when I'm at work, and I'm focused on my family when I'm with them. So that works for me.
That's, the boundary part that you just said. I know that a lot of us who do walk around with a smartphone in their hand, we're always connected. And it's very hard to establish those boundaries. So I know that for me, like, I started to put my phone down just during supper.
Right.
Just knowing this is the time that I'm not on the phone. Or in the morning with my daughter, this is the time I'm not on the phone.
Right.
I actually labeled it Tilly time in my calendar. But honestly, that's one of the biggest challenges. And it's nice. It's good that you have that strength to be able to lock the door and come upstairs.
Yes, it is challenging. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a lot of things, but I do, put it in my head that I'm going to return to that. My brain never stops. So if my brain goes on and on all day long, sometimes I will need to jot down some things on paper that I do need to remember when I go back into the office, but there's still that cutoff. Now I'm at work, now I'm at home.
Okay, then what about when you're doing your day-to-day business? What do you find most fulfilling with what you're doing right now?
Most fulfilling is helping businesses. It really gives me a lot of joy when I can figure out tough situations, especially in compliance and human resources. Sometimes it's really challenging to figure out what works best for a company. And when I do, I love problem solving, and it just gives me a lot of sipuk and joy when I can have that, and I can come up with good solutions that I can actually help them implement. It just for me, that's very gratifying.
So I can say from personal experience that we've used your services and you did a great job in handbooks and everything that we needed. But when we had a challenge that came up with an employee, and when you're a small business and you don't have a human resource department, sometimes you don't know who to ask, what to do, how to handle it. And my response was just call Libby. And your insights and your experience really came through to work through. It was like once or twice through different situations. So I know that your service is invaluable, especially to the businesses that you service. And it's really good to know that, and I know why you want to do it. I can see it, like you feel that fulfillment. But at the same time, when you're running a business by yourself and you do have the customer service aspect and you're dealing with all different players and delegating, tell me some of the frustrations that you feel throughout your business.
So some of the frustrations are definitely in being able to hand over some of the work that I feel like it's my knowledge that's really what's needed here. But we have a team, and our team is ready to handle, we definitely divide up the work and make sure that, our customers get what they need. It is frustrating when the amount of work for clients take a lot more time than we expected, and therefore we need to be more involved and have other clients wait for their chance, because we just have so much time that we can give to our clients. So for me, frustrating sometimes is that I want to grow faster than I can. I need a bigger team than I have. I have a lot more work than I can handle on my own, but that's just growth pains, and I'm ready to go for that challenge.
So if you were advising somebody who may want to go into business for themselves, a woman entrepreneur, a person that aspires to be an entrepreneur, is there any advice you'd give to a woman who wanted to start their own business? And I want to add something else to that question. And is there anything you would do differently if you were starting over again, becoming, what you are today?
Okay, so I definitely would advise women who want to go on their own business, just go for it. Just jump that bridge. You'll get where you want to get to. If you have your aspirations and dreams, there's nothing that will keep you from it. If you just get over the fear and jump right into it. If you have a good idea, if it could take off, just put your whole mind and everything into it, and you'll be successful. Would I do anything differently now? This is not my first business. I did have a hotel supply business years ago that I sold at a profit. So this is basically, I'm experienced already to start a business. And when I started my, setting of the structures, I felt, I definitely did it with more knowledge and information. I'm glad I did it at the age I'm doing it right now, because I have flexibility with my family. My kids, most of my kids are grown. They understand what I do. They appreciate what I do. They respect what I do. So it's a lot different than when you have little kids, but I would still say don't keep anything from doing what you want to do and go for your dreams.
Talking about dreams, where do you envision your business in the future, in 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see it going and growing?
Okay, so my goal is really to reinvent myself in a lot of people. I would like to make a lot of little people like myself, not little, but like
a lot of Libbies
that will be able to take on a lot more clients, grow the company, so we can service a lot more people. And then for me, it would be more like talking to people, talking to clients, consult for their HR, and bring in more business to my company so we can grow exponentially.
Wow. Human resources, for me in the mortgage industry, I don't deal with the human resource side. I deal with the day to day with a lot of with my employees. I deal a lot of day to day, and I've learned how to handle different challenges within the business itself. But growing a human resource business, and you talk to companies and you help them with everything that they struggle with, do you find that there's a lot of hand holding to your company, or is a lot of it's just basically follow a handbook, follow a protocol?
Absolutely not. It's definitely a lot of hand holding. There's a lot of advising. Sometimes, like yourself, you're in the mortgage company, in the mortgage industry. You don't know anything about compliance. You don't know anything about parts of HR, like policies that need to be created, and just clarity of how to communicate that to your employees. So when I come in, I'm basically helping my clients where they can't really deal with that also. They're dealing with growing their business. They're good at doing what they do. They don't want to be busy with HR. They don't want to have to deal with employees that are coming in late or calling out every second day. They want human resources to be the people involved in employee relations. Let's say you have a supervisor and they want to have their good relationship with their team. They don't want to have to run after them for you're taking a lunch break that's too long. You're not approving PTO before you're taking off, or whatever it is. Little things that make a difference for the relationship of the supervisor to employee. That's where we come in, and our clients are very happy and their needs of their managing their people becomes not their problem anymore. They can deal with growing their business, expanding their business, getting more business, while we can take care of the people that support their business.
A lot of people start their own businesses. Their businesses, at first when you start the business, you want any company because you just need to have revenue come in. And then as time goes on and you see how much time things take and you see which businesses seem to be a better fit for you, you kind of narrow it down somewhat. Now, you're not in business that long,
right,
for yourself right now in this new venture that you started a couple of years ago. Have you seen already a change in involvement in the types of clients you're taking?
Absolutely.
Is there like a sweet spot that changed from when you started?
Yes, absolutely. So my first client was someone that just needed a part-time HR. That was great for me to start building my clientele. But for me, it's not, I wouldn't say my niche, but I'm gravitating towards healthcare and companies that have over 25 employees, because that's where there's a real need. They don't have to feel like they're sacrificing for something maybe they do or don't need. It's something that there's a real need for it. There are employees. There's probably by the time we come in, there's probably already some bad blood, and people are unhappy, and people need to be things need to be changed around. So a company that has 25 employees, and if they're in the healthcare field, that's our ideal client. We do take clients from other industries as well, but we definitely do realize that we're gravitating towards that type of client.
Okay, this sounds fascinating. I'm excited to keep in touch with you, Libby, and see how you continue to grow and succeed.
Yep.
And this is really very exciting. I'm so glad we did this today.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. And, being involved in a lot of what you do is a pleasure for me.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.